Have your fans expressed anything about your reverence to your religious beliefs?
With my religious beliefs or non-beliefs, I don't give it a name. I just believe what I believe. I allow you to do the same, and I just try to be the best person that I can be. But with this new CD, Palmystery, having a song on there titled "The Gospel" or "I Saw God," it's hitting people like it's more of a spiritual record. But I really don't believe it's any more spiritual than any of my past records. If people would go back and really listen to the words on these songs. There's a song on one of my records titled "One." It's talking about we all are one. I have another song called "Heaven is Where the Heart Is." So the spirituality, religious if you want to call it that, has always been there. But with this record, one I would say is heads up, is making sure that this record is in front of people. So they've been doing a wonderful job with that. But the song titles and actually talking about God and addressing God head on. It's not like I'm not hiding it this time. We're going to talk about it, and this song is going to make you question your own beliefs. So it's in the forefront of people's minds, what they think about life and what they think about God with this record.
I know how cumbersome it can be to get family members together for a holiday meal. What was it like to have the Wooten clan together in the studio?
My brothers are easy. We live near each other. We played together my whole life. So getting them involved is pretty easy. Getting my mom involved was pretty easy also. I called her on the telephone and asked her to sing an old spiritual that I remember hearing as a child. And as she started singing over the phone, I recorded it. It's a song that they sang to their mother, one of their mom's favorite songs. And so they were just into the sacredness of the music itself for music's sake. And so I let them know how it was going to be used. And they gave me the okay to use the song. So I felt good about that. And then after getting them to sing on it, I went to Washington, D.C., where a bunch more of my relatives live, and there's a lot of younger nieces and nephews and cousins, basically, lots of young cousins. And I got them to sing on the song also, but a more of an upbeat part. So in the song, you go from this old Southern spiritual, it's like you could just hear the preacher in the background type of singing, to a more upbeat part of the song also. So it's really a conglomeration of, the old and new. It's just a bunch of generations from the Wooten family, the Woodard Wooten family, all together on one song. So it's one of those songs that it's going to force you to stop what you're doing and listen to it. That's a song called "The Gospel."
You have said that rarely do you complete a song that you write, welcoming guest musicians to interpret your music their way. Talk about the musicians on the release and what their contributions meant to you.
Sure. I play a lot of instruments. I play guitar, I play drums, I could play a little bit of keys, but it wouldn't make sense for me to come in and try to play, a lot of guitar on a song when I have people like my brother Reggie or Mike Stern that I can call. They are much better guitarists than me and will always be. And so in realizing that, a lot of the times it doesn't even make sense for me to try to write their guitar part. I'll just write the song, maybe give them some chord charts. Every once in a while I'll give them what the melody is, but I'll have Reggie or Mike or whoever's playing guitar, and I give them the freedom to interpret the song how they choose. The same way in an interview, you write the questions, but you don't write my answers. It's going to be better if I can say what I want to say. But it's got to be based around your question. So you're directing. In the studio, it's the same way. It's like I give them a question and I allow them to answer it however they choose. And so, with people like Mike Stern, have a great bassist, Richard Bona, who's singing and playing African percussion on there. A wonderful harmonica player, Howard Levy. Kev Mo, great bluesman, is on there. Saxophonist Carl Denson. There's all sorts of people playing on this record. And I give them the freedom to interpret the music how they choose. And so that's why I say a lot of the times in the studio, the song may be unfinished. And I'll give them the opportunity of even becoming a songwriter. That's why sometimes you'll see other people's names on my songs as songwriters. If they come in and actually change the tune and make it better, they deserve that credit. And so I'm open to that. I want the songs to be as good as possible. And I know that if I use the group and use these musicians and allow them to contribute, the songs will become better. And then they're like more band songs rather than just a Victor Wooten song. So I'm open to all of that.
What's your view of today's human condition and how it's affecting our consumption of music as listeners and as students?
Now, one thing I would say about the human condition, if I'm approaching this question correctly, is the one thing I would like to change, I guess, or help in this human condition is I want us to start really thinking for ourselves. Basically, we don't realize it, but a lot of our choices are made by TV, radio, newspapers, and magazines, and things like that. They'll tell us what to think. This guy's a criminal? Okay, then I believe he is. Rather than really thinking for ourselves. And I believe that's because most of us are just caught up in the rat race of trying to make ends meet on a daily basis. I have to go to work and make money. I don't have time to research, let's say, who the best candidate, running for governor or president or what. I don't have time to do the research. So let me just read the headlines and I'll make my decisions based on the headlines. I don't have time to research all the good music out there. So I'll just turn on the radio and hear what's being played and I'll just choose from that. But the world is a beautiful place if we just open up to the whole world. If we just look at what's on the media, on the headlines, we're just going to get a small view of what's really going on out there. So I just like the world and people as individuals to think for themselves, relating it to music. In music, a lot of the times, us musicians coming up in order to make ends meet, to make a living. I just want to play music. I want to play what's in my heart. But that doesn't sell. I can't sell any records doing that, so I have to bend and play what the record labels want or what the radio is going to support. So I can't even be honest with my music. That's the general consensus of a musician coming up. So I've got to become a rapper, or I've got to become this, whatever's selling. And nothing wrong with that music, nothing at all. But sometimes it pulls us away from what's really true in our heart. And then we have to fight hard to get back to what we really believe or what's in our heart. So I would like the industry, I would like our government, anyone that's a world leader to bring that back. Allow people the freedom to express what's in their heart, and then let's support it. Let's support, honesty in music, honesty in life, and let's make it easier for artists to be able to express themselves that way. Maybe I'm going on a rant here, but I hope I'm making some sense.